Good morning, guys. Welcome to Hannah's Backyard. This is week number 4 of the garden being fully planted. I did have the brassicas in early, but with the rabbits and all the other issues that we had getting started, I'll call this week number 4. So everything is looking really good. Things are growing a little differently, and I think that's because they were all basically pruned back to nothing and then regrew. So celery looks a lot different this year than other years. It also is a different variety. This is the Utah variety. No, yes, it's the Utah variety. And the cauliflower I'm growing looks very different, but the last 2 years, all I have grown has been the purple, and the rabbits ate all the purple ones. So what I do have looks a little bit different, and I think being that the plants were eaten by the rabbits kind of affected how they're growing, and they're kind of like bolting a little bit. They want to bolt a little bit, let's just put it that way. The broccoli pretty much did. So yeah, I show you all that. Otherwise, everything's been going really good. Sorry with the traffic. We have gotten probably 5 inches of rain pretty easily in the last week. On Saturday morning alone, we got 3.5. So everything loved it. What I'm finding is I need to be watering this garden a lot more when it's young like this, because of the amount of compost that I lay on the top of it. The top dries out really easily, but underneath holds moisture well. But on these smaller plants and seedlings, they just need a little bit more water early on before the roots get down. That's what I'm finding. So when I do get rain, everything just, but some of these plants now, they're getting pretty big. And they can hold moisture, or like I guess they can pull moisture from the ground easier than when they're smaller. But I still have some melons and stuff that I probably should be watering every day. So I'm learning some things, even still this year, because it's been going from a drought type of year last year to rain all the time, but still dry in between for the garden. It's showing me that watering every day is probably a good idea. So anyway, long story short, basically, let's shoot you through and so you can see the progress of the week. Okay, so we're going to start out here with the strawberry patch. This one's doing pretty well. I have some nettles that I got to put some gloves on in order to pull out, but this bed is doing much better than this one. This one the weeds really want to take over, but this was kind of random ones that I have found. Those I pulled from the main patch, and these were kind of off to the side, so I think that's why this group is just smaller in general. But this will be a nice strawberry patch, both of these, when they fully are, you know, mature, I guess. So this week we have the roses. Something's eating them, and I haven't really done any research of it or looking into it. I just kind of noticed it when I walked over here close up. But yeah, they're really pretty. And this one's still on the smaller side, I think, because this gets the majority of the light on the west side. But it'll fill in. I can't wait for this whole thing is a carpet of, they're kind of a pinkish color more than red, but they're very pretty. I got these, oh, what are they called? I can't even remember, but they kind of can hang down. They're really pretty. I've only watered these pots twice. And these are pots. I can't believe it. So they said it was a drought tolerant plant, but I think it kind of covers this really nice and mulches itself, and so it keeps that soil pretty moist on the end or underneath it. I gotta put gloves on. I've been fighting thistles and I'm pulling them as much as I can. Oh yeah, see, it was all the way up to here Saturday morning. I emptied it. We got another 1/2 inch, and then this was Saturday night into Sunday morning. We got another 1/2 inch. Whoops. So we've definitely been getting rain. I'll put some pictures. There was a river coming down from the field. It's tiled this way, but We haven't had water run like that in 2 years, so it was interesting. I'll show you some pictures of it. So anyway, my herbs and stuff are doing pretty good. I need to cut these chives back. The peppermint is still creeping out. I mean, the straw wasn't probably the best idea that I've had again, but here we are. The marjoram, that's pretty small. I don't know. Like I said, the straw's kind of been a little weird for things. My chamomile, it is starting to grow, and then there's another thing of oregano there. But if the chamomile wants to kind of like take over here, it can. There's a huge pile of thistles and grass that I pulled out of here. My sage, I should have maybe not cut it back so late. I should have done that more in the fall last year instead of this spring, but I got a couple little flowers. They're kind of pretty. Mint, my thyme's flowering. Pretty, but that's getting taken over by mint. This is lemon balm. This is beautiful, I think. I like that it clumps. I kind of wish I moved this, the red Pestan, I think it was called, which is just a flower. I kind of wish I would have removed it altogether and separated some of the lemon balm to have that on each side. I think that would really kind of be neat. But the echinacea is doing really well. My oregano this year is massive. And here I have parsley, flat leaf, and another thing of parsley, and then some flowers, gladiolas, straw flowers back there. These are hardy gladiolas. These stay in over winter. And then here's the garlic. I just pulled scapes last week, so I'm thinking 3 to 4 weeks. I think it was end of July. And I'm right on track with last year because I posted about it on my Facebook, and on my memories it came up the same day I pulled scapes this year. I pulled them last year, so we're right on track. The onions, they're doing pretty good now. I have to go through and hand weed in between. I can run my hoe through the rows, but I can't get too close to them, so I still have to come in and hand weed. Any sunflower that came up here, I pretty much left it. I pulled one out because it was on this side of the trellis there, and it was just getting too narrow. Although these are already in the path, but that's okay. And all the kale, I went overboard because the rabbits were eating it, so I just planted a whole bunch, and now it's everywhere. And then I have some spinach that's bolting, the arugula is bolting. My kale's doing pretty good now. It's coming back. Some lettuce. My cilantro bolted. I did put cilantro in between each one. So we'll see. The seeds haven't germinated yet, but I'm hoping that that'll kind of, I can pull these and the new plants will be there. Here I have a row of leaf lettuce. That's what I'm going to use it for. So I just cut it instead of instead of heads of lettuce. I will cut this more as a leaf lettuce. And then the carrots. And these are my wasabi radishes. If anybody knows anything about these, I have to do a little bit of research. First of all, I've never grown radishes. I already ate my radishes, but these weren't ready at the same time. But can you see how large that is? So I have to look up what to do with them and when to harvest, because they are quite large now. I don't know what I'm going to do with that much wasabi radishes, but there's that. This is the celery, and like I said, I feel like it's just not bushing up like it's supposed to. And I wonder if it was just because it was eaten down so many times. But yeah, I don't know. Here's my basil. This is the blue spice. And then I have the Genovese over here. It's really took off this week with the heat. And then all through here, all these little ones are also basil from last year. So I've been weeding them a little bit. This is the Wisconsin pickle here. I did have some bug damage. It looks like it's kind of getting to be at bay a little bit. I sprayed them down with Dawn dish soap and water. I sprayed the bugs and then they slowed them down. They were like the cucumber beetles. And then I just smashed, like killed them and smashed them all up and stuff. And this is the Parisian cucumber. These are finally starting to take off. That's the Tanya. This is straight 8, and these are Natsu Fusili, I think is what those are called. There's gonna be plenty here. I put some Kentucky pole beans here on either corner, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and look at this. I put 5 seeds in right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every single one germinated. These seeds were from 2015. I'm floored that every single one germinated. I kind of figured they wouldn't, so, but now I'll probably pull these 2 and let these 3 go up. But same thing with over there. I got excessive, thinking that they weren't all gonna come up. I was just hoping for 1 or 2, and here they are. So, pretty impressed. These are my red cabbages. Calabas, I think they are. And they're coned. And you can see they're starting to, maybe you can see, kind of develop. These leaves are really neat how they're, like they loop around and kind of hook together. I have my onions in there. They're still there. So here's the cauliflower. So this is the only one. I think this still might be a purple one. Just the way it's growing, I'm thinking it is. But then these ones, they're kind of like a purplish color. So I'm a little confused because what I bought wasn't. But yeah, I was kind of thinking of closing the leaves over it today because that looks like it'll develop into a nice head. This is I think they said it was a lime basil. Oh, here it is. I actually bought this. Yes, lime basil. It's very pretty and it smells very good. Here's another cauliflower. Here's my fiddler kraut. Cabbages. I'm starting to get pretty excited about these. You can see the cone starting. And I planted them closer together than I normally do because I wanted them to kind of grow up and coned. They're looking really good. And these weren't bothered by a lot, not even the rabbits. So that's different, but. Okay, a cherry tomato here. The plants are looking really good. Like I said, with the water, we just needed water. Much more water. These are my Sart Relays. Let me get on this side. Maybe you'll see it better. This is a volunteer, the one in the middle. I was leaving it because the rabbit ate the top off this Sart Relay, and that one was going really slow. But now they're starting to really catch up. But compared to the Annalise Nior, they're nothing. But these are beautiful plants. These are beautiful plants. These are probably some of the nicest plants I've had, I think. They're beautiful. And here, these are Homestead variety, and these really just popped this week too. Everything was looking kind of smaller and yellow, and then all of a sudden, with that rain, they're just popping. And this is my melon wall. These aren't doing very good. I did plant more seeds, but they came up, and then the bugs started to even bother that. But my Kajaris are kind of like, they're doing good. They're doing better than they were. These are a lemon drop. I'm a little worried. They got a long way to go before they get up here. And then there's another one I planted. That one's looking good. And then these are the silver Yamatos. So they're looking much better. And then these two here are Amish pastes. And then we'll go back this way. My zucchini. The cucumber beetles just annihilated them. But since I've sprayed them with the soap water, they're looking better. But now this week I'm seeing squash bugs, so I don't know. Oh yeah, here they are. This is a cucumber beetle. Oh, did you see he went around? See him on the ground there? That's what I'm having problems with. Oh, here they are. See? They're all in there. So I'm gonna come out and spray it again because this is a nice plant. Lettuces, they're doing really good. My romaine, I just cut some off yesterday, but I think I'm gonna end up just making like just a head of romaine. I've never actually done that. I always just like cut off lettuce and eat it when I want to. Hot peppers are doing good. This Sorrano that the rabbit ate is now, it's got 3 branches. This thing is gonna be a bush. And then these ones are looking really good. For some reason, oh good, it bounced back. This was looking really droopy. And I'm not sure why. Everything else looked really good. So it looks a little bit better this morning. Swiss chard, it's looking good. Okay, I forgot to show this, the chamomile that's grown with the cauliflower. These are my fingerling potatoes, Magic Molly, and I think these are a red fingerling. I am battling potato bugs. They are here. I guess you'd call it hand picking. I come through once a day. You can see one of the larvas right there. And I shake them off and put it into a little dish, and I feed them to the chickens. So it's been working. There's still some bug damage, but it's not as bad. These are all bell peppers and sweet peppers. These tomatoes are looking good. My ox heart's finally starting to take off. That was also a really late bloomer. But they were last year too. And then all these other varieties. I can't remember exactly what I all have out here. Some Amish Golds, there's some Black Crims, and I want to say these 2 are Romas, Italian Roma and a Martino's Roma, I think is what's there. Brussels sprouts, they're doing Brussels sprout things. So they're doing okay. And then the broccoli, there's 2 plants on the end there that have bolted. I pulled one last night. I think I'm gonna pull these 2, and then there's these other smaller ones here to replace the ones that bolted. Corn, oh look! It was the Cosmo that came back. I left it. I was gonna move it. I still think maybe I will move it. Maybe I'll dig that up. Let it shine somewhere else. And then I got some random potatoes that came up, which I haven't seen a single potato bug on any of these random ones, but only on the ones I planted on this side. My corn popped up that I planted the last video, and it grew like 4 inches in 5 days. I'm not kidding. Long pie pumpkins, Jardale pumpkins. I ended up having to plant more seeds because the bugs ate those. I thought this was a weed, but I'm pretty sure this is a flower. I'm not sure what it is though, but I think I should move that too. The mystery watermelons, I ended up planting more seeds. I got these here. They're very slow growing, but I think they're gonna be pretty large if I can get it to take off. Same thing on this side. And they're a mystery, so I really don't know how big they're gonna get, but look at this. It just popped out the seed, and that's my finger. They're huge. So they're similar to the Jardale. Okay, I'm all back and forth today. Here's my 3 rows of zinnias. They're really starting to come up now. I'm excited. You can actually see the 3 rows. This is a lemon basil here, and then that's just the geranium I threw in there. It's got sunflowers on it. It's pretty. And then my cannas, only 3 ended up coming up, but luckily a sunflower came up where I planted the 4th, so I'm just gonna leave that. And yeah, that's all for out here. Let's go out back. Okay, so this is the back bed that I have done nothing with besides weed it once. All of these potatoes came up by themselves, and as I was picking the potato bugs off of these, because these ones, the potato bugs just like them. But anyway, I did find quite a few potatoes. Well, the one I pulled the weed up out of there, and underneath it, it ruffled up the dirt, and I could see a lot of potatoes, and I think those were a russet variety. But yeah, these are doing really well. And like I said, I just been hand picking, and every day I come out, you know, I can still find more. I'm not gonna pick right now, but so yeah, they're definitely getting eaten a little bit, but I'm trying my best. So my weed patch, I should have taken care of it because there's cosmos in there. So and there's a whole bunch of other flowers underneath, but they're getting all weeded out. So at this point, I should just try to find my cosmos, and hopefully they'll do enough ground cover and get rid of these weeds, because this is kind of ridiculous. And then here I planted zinnias. You can see the couple that are coming up, and there's a canna that must have seeded out in my compost that's growing, so that's cool. And there's a couple other little random flowers. So I'm gonna try, hopefully this will bush out. This is incredibly wild back here. This is that butterfly pollinator mix that I threw down that's over there also. But you can see how thick it is here. And I did do some weeding through here. So this should be kind of a colorful patch. The sunflowers that I moved from the other garden, these all were volunteers. So I'm not sure what's what or what they're gonna look like. But there they are on a little patch. These are those elephant leaf or ears, whatever they're called. I put 2 in. That one's starting to really grow. I had this one in a pot and it was coming out, and I'm like, nah, that looks like it's gonna be a little too big for my pot, so it's out here. And then the comfrey. This is a huge patch of comfrey, and it's just out of control. I need to learn to cut it and harvest some of this stuff, but just having it here and I can actually move it, I can do stuff with it, is nice to have. So, but there you go. That is the garden tour. Everything's growing, and we've had really great rain. We'll see you guys later. Bye.